Hello, everyone. Once again, it is Friday. We have made it back to the lab where we are going to rank 8-bit Nintendo games. My name is Jeff Gerstmann. We've been building this list here for a lot of weeks, for years, in fact. We have spent years on this incredible assignment. We have 627 games on the list here. Raid 2020 currently at the bottom of the list. Up at the top, what is it? What do we got here? Oh, it's Mega Man 2. Mega Man 2 certainly seems like a very good game. That's how I remember it anyway. We have a fresh batch of games here for episode 117. And if you want to influence the list in future episodes, you can. Patreon.com/Jeff Gerstmann. That's right. If you join the advisory panel, you can. The top game on the list is cut off. Maybe I can fix that. What's every time they redo something in they redo stuff in Notepad to add more bars to it so that they can have more AI buttons in Notepad of all things. Is sickening. And sometimes the vertical width on the app changes just enough. Let me unlock that source and I guess make it a little bit smaller. And then, no, that's the wrong. No, that's the wrong. And then Alt drag this up a bit here. So that you can see the top of the list. Okay, and now we will bring that bit of it back, and we will put it where it belongs, so to speak. Snapping in OBS doesn't work as well when you are cropping sources. I don't know. Anyway, Mega Man 2 at the top of the list. If you want to influence the list, sign up for the advisory panel over at patreon.com/Jeff Gerstmann. You can suggest games as all of the games for this week's batch have been. Yes, it's true. Weird looking list today on this auspicious occasion. Davis brings us our first game. And this is I know I've played this game. I know this game came out under different names and in different territories and everything. I don't remember the specifics of it now. But it's time to take on a tougher Tetris challenge. That's right. It's time to play Notepad 2. No, what? Tetris 2. They should make a Notepad 2 that fixes all the problems with Notepad. Namely, stripping out all of the AI. They did. It's called Notepad++. Okay, Tetris 2, the sequel to Tetris. That's right. They made a newer, better Tetris. I won't spoil the story for Tetris 1 here. If you haven't played it, you should. There's some cutscenes in the middle of Tetris that will really blow your mind. But Tetris 2, I don't think you really need to have played too much Tetris 1 to really understand. They kind of make it a standalone thing. Right off the bat here, I'm going to say I don't really like the music very much. Music A is okay. Music B is all right. Music C is like... Music C is like the weird scene in that 80s porn film where you're like, why is this music playing? This isn't... I don't understand what message this is trying to convey here. Okay, so we've got junk in the well. Oh, I could not rotate that piece to fit. What is this? Oh, and the pieces break apart based on color. Okay. And we get some color matching stuff as well as... Is it color matching or is it... Well, why didn't that... Oh, okay. So this is like a lot to look at. In terms of like, oh, well, these pieces are fused together and you can tell because of this, but these ones aren't. And this is like they made a bad Dr. Mario. With shitty pieces. Look at this trash. What a step down, you know? Like right off the bat, just like, gosh. But I think it goes to show that, like, you know, like in the back in the 90s, the heady days of 1989 / 1993, whatever copyright date is on this thing. So can I make lines too? I assume I can also just make lines, right? If it would stop and let me make some lines. All right. Are you shitting me? The only lines in this game are the Nazca lines in the background. This is a look. No, I don't know what I wanted to do there, but it was not that. This is, you know, it's the crazy case of like, hey, there's nothing inherently wrong with this game except for the part where it's called Tetris 2. The part where this is called Tetris 2 kind of makes this game seem like a criminal act. This is like you bring this home from the store and it's like the classic Rhodium Swap Meet era Dr. Dre mixtape, You Got Ganked, where at the beginning of the mixtape, Dr. Dre comes on and says, "You got ganked. There ain't nothing on this tape." And he's lying. There actually is something on the tape. But this is like if you came home from the store and you're like, yeah, I love Tetris. And then you get this. But that was years before this, not that many years. Like, you know, the Dr. Dre's mixtapes were like 87 or so. And this was, you know, not until like 1989. What was this? So is this Tetris Flash? Like, well, I need to look up the I need to look up the hows and whys about what this thing is, real quick here, because my memory of it is a little hazy. Okay, so this came out as Tetris Flash in Japan in 1993. And also on Game Boy and SNES in some parts of the world. Okay. This is, yeah, I hate this. But, like, I hate this again, like, because of the expectations of it being Tetris and it not being Tetris. Oh, well, that went too far. You know, it's a completely different skill set from, like, actual Tetris. And it's something that it's almost, like, if it worked, if it was less rigid in what sort of matches it would accept, like, it seems, it only takes, like, lines, right? It still is a line-based game in, like, all the wrong ways. Oh, come on, that was detached. Was I not paying attention? You could argue that I wasn't paying attention, and I would go, yeah, well, maybe. But nope, that's not going to detach. That's not going to work. That's not going to work. Well, but that'll detach it. Okay. Okay. I can't drop that on there because it'll just recreate the same Okay, that'll work. That'll work. Okay, now we just need to uncover this other one. That is not how I thought that was going to go. Neither is that. Okay, here we go. Suck it. Stupid game. It's like, I think Dr. Mario is a game with some of its own issues. No, fuck, no. That's me. But, like, you would obviously be better served with a copy of Dr. Mario over this. I think that, you know, obviously there's like a larger conversation to be had about like the, you know, that this game is a travesty and that it is not Tetris, and you know, like there's a lot to say about that end of it. But you know, if we kind of sidestep that a little bit and just try to talk about it on its own merits, I still think this game is the shits. So that's a technical term. Okay, so if I set up something like that on top of it and then use that to, well, now I got those cut out, those on top of it. I really could have done better. I hate this game. I hate this game. I hate this game. I hate this game so much. I hate this. Nope, that's not going to help me. That's going to... All right, well. Nope, that's not going to do it either. I really fucked this up. You know, I really fucked this up. What am I doing here? We're putting this here. No, that... Well, okay, yeah, that'll... do something, I guess. Okay, here we go. No, we don't. No. Okay, we gotta. There. That's the exact piece I've been waiting for a while. And now we can plop this in right next to it, like that, and we're done. But in some ways, it's bad columns. In some ways, it's bad Dr. Mario. It is ultimately like this is crummy. That's not a good place for that. This game's just kind of a pain in the ass, man. Yeah, this is, I don't know. This does not feel, this is not like puzzle fun. This is... It's more annoying, I would say. Okay, so that drops. That there's no at point at which that stops and goes, oh yeah, you lined it up, and and gives it to you. They just tell you to eat shit. And you're kind of left looking at the tiny little symbols on the blocks to go like, oh, okay, so like these two are connected here. You can tell by the way that and the readability on that is not always awesome. And yeah, I mean, this is... All right, what else? What else is in here? A competitive mode. Yeah, I don't know. This music is not much better. No, that's not. I hit it too early. I mean, I'm getting done up pretty bad here, as far as I can tell. Nope, that's not going to help. Wait, what? How? Oh, are we okay? So it's a shared well. We're kind of stealing pieces from each other. I see. Okay. I looked at the next piece and was like, "Cool, that one will help." And then that wasn't the piece I got, but it's no, that's not. Yeah, this is, a lot of... There's a lot of stuff that happened after the success of Tetris that is really kind of nuts to go back and look at now. The relatively shameless attempts to capitalize on the popularity of Tetris and the number of games in this vein that were released over a pretty short period of time. Like there's a rich history of bullshit. And I think most of them are, we eventually got to a place where I think that we started seeing better games, and I think the way forward, at least initially, once they tried to figure out like what do we do with Tetris, we did hit this like really good kind of secondary puzzle game boom with the popularity of like Puyo Puyo, which is older than I think a lot of people realize, but also like I would say Puzzle Fighter, Baku Baku, like that kind of competitive stuff is exciting and different enough to where it doesn't just feel like, oh, you made bad Tetris, you know? No exclamation point on lose. Wait, it's 3 out of 5. Didn't realize that this was that serious. It's like I'm chain smoking and playing Virtua Fighter over here. 3 out of 5. Fuck me. Come on. Ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba. That piece fell fast. I didn't like that. Not me. I'm not a fan. Oh, jeez. Ah, wow. Brr. Yeah, that's great. It's exactly what I wanted to do, so this is working out. Oh. Shit. Dropped the cat on me. Fraud detected. Drop the cat. Yeah, this is not a good game. Like musically, I think it's musically it's kind of a weird thing. I think Tetris's reputation as you care about the music really only comes from the Game Boy version, and then Tetris Effect, I guess. But how do you make a sequel to Tetris? You don't. You can come up with different environments in which to play Tetris. You can find ways to enhance competitive Tetris. You can come up with different rule sets, and they did. You can alter the rules around the ways that you can spin the blocks, and the pseudo randomness that drives the blocks to begin with. Like, those are changes that they made over the years. But you're not going to go like, we've made an eighth block, like you're not going to have like, this new block is going to change Tetris forever. it's just going to make it worse. And we know that because they all tried it. You know? Building on Tetris by going, this shape is all fucked up, is not a winning strategy. It never was. So, you know, like it's even when you think about this game shipping under the name Tetris Flash, I think putting the Tetris name on this, it's one of those things that probably made a lot of sense at the time, right? Because you have the license to do so. And, you know, Nintendo published this themselves, and they published Tetris before, you know, like they did that stuff. But then what? Toast made this, I guess. Toes. This was made by Toes. That's how we're going to start pronouncing it. And so you can see, like, you know, after the popularity of Tetris, why you would want to immediately try to make Tetris 2. Or not immediately, but, you know, in the relatively, especially when you see all of these other games coming out around it. Well, the original is back, and it's Tetris Flash. Or it's Tetris 2. You know, I think writing the Tetris name on it either way doesn't really... It doesn't matter if it's Tetris 2 or Tetris Flash. I think the problem is the same. This is a significantly worse game than Tetris. It is not a good follow-up to Tetris. Even when you take in mind the era and the puzzle game boom and the idea that all of this other stuff was happening. Your Wordtris, I love Wordtris. Wordtris is maybe the exception to a lot of the bullshit that was coming out around that time. I actually really like Wordtris. I always thought Wordtris was fun. But, you know, like Sega had columns, and you had other bootleg versions of Tetris and you know, clacks, which you know, look, scientifically speaking, yeah, clacks is not an amazing game. But it is an amazing, like, the presentation of clacks, particularly when it came out, it was incredible. But the actual puzzle gameplay of clacks is I you know, like, look at the clock, man. I don't have time for that. Yeah, so you know, Tetris 2 is worse than Tetris in every way. Worse than Tetris. In every way. But also, it's worse than Dr. Mario in every way. As a game that is, like, at least a little bit similar to Dr. Mario. In fact, I might go so far as to say it is quite similar to Dr. Mario. This is way worse. Way worse. And so let's start there. You'd be better off with a copy of Wario's Woods. That's for sure. You would be better off with a copy of Frankenstein: The Monster Returns. If you're picking between Renegade and Tetris 2, it's Renegade every time. Ikari Warriors 2 Victory Road, for sure. Big Nose Freaks Out is a better game than Tetris 2. But this probably, you know, we're probably getting somewhere in the zone here. It is worse than Big Nose Freaks Out. It is better than Widget. It's better than Hatris. Anything would be. That's not true. Scientifically speaking, that's not true. As fun as it is to shit on Hatris. Hatris is a absolutely terrible video game. Absolute garbage. Tetris 2 is better than Hatris, but not much. I mean, it's better than the Jungle Book. It's not better than the Addams Family. It is Shockwave. It's better than Shockwave. It's no Darkman. It's our new number 432. Congratulations to Tetris 2, sandwiched between two classics. 117. Okay, all right. Let's yeah, I mean that's such a It's easy to see why it happens, right? You know, the just how popular Tetris was. Everyone was rushing to figure out what they're going to do next, right? Like how do we follow up on Tetris? And you know, like you look at the way Tetris goes now and the answer is I just wait a while and put Tetris out again. Wait a while for there to be something else that you can change about it other than the part where it's Tetris, because the part where it's Tetris is actually perfect. It's a strong case for, like, is Tetris the greatest video game ever made? You know, it's a weird conversation, and I think, you know, but I Tetris is probably the actual answer. You know? Like, Tetris is the one game that, like, as soon as it comes to mind, you go like, oh, well, that's certainly in the conversation. And then you go like, what else is in the conversation? What else is, like, immediately like, oh, well, you know, clearly this is here. Like Tetris transcends decades and generations of players. Tetris holds up just as well today as it did then. You know, with like relatively minimal changes. Like people in the chat right now are saying Doom. No. Like compared to Tetris? Like if you want to tell me about the impact of Doom and how that much that matters, like, yeah, I get it. Like I love Doom, but Tetris is timeless. Like Tetris in like Doom, you look at it, it's old. You look at it, you go like, all right, okay. All right, Doom. If you have never played Doom before, do you need to play Doom? The answer is probably no. You know what I mean? Like there are modern equivalents or updates of the Doom formula that, you know, that would be more interesting to modern tastes. Tetris is a case where, yeah, they've updated the rules. Like there's a lot of stuff that they've done with Tetris, and you know, like that it may not be inherently like immediately obvious if you're looking at it, but at its core, Tetris is still Tetris in a way that, like, until you get to a point where you can really notice the difference, early Tetris is just as good as new Tetris. You know? Like people have preferences that go back to that era, you know, or they're like, oh, well, actually, you know, the right version to play is still the Game Boy game, or, you know, or whatever, right? And, you know, the real sickos are out there playing Tetris Grandmaster Ace for disgusting, like because they're broken people. But just like conceptually, it is such a simple thing that it transcends, like and you can play it competitively or not. Like, you know, there's so many different ways to kind of approach it, I guess, and it's hard for any other single game, I think, to compete with Tetris. It's such a monolith, like it's such a fucking gargantuan And I'm not even saying this is like, I don't particularly, like, I like Tetris. I don't, it's fine. I don't want to necessarily play it all the time. And so, like, I'm not coming at this from the approach of like, the Tetris is the only game you need to play. But I mean, like, when you think about the entirety of humanity and video games and like like, what's the video game? What's the video game? It's probably Tetris. It's probably Tetris in terms of impact and, just like the purity of its design. Like, Tetris is something that they should be fucking loading onto. They should be printing it out like the fucking Arecibo fucking weird thing. Like, the code for Tetris should be contained in there somewhere. So when we launch it into space, aliens can figure it out somehow and use it to play Tetris. Like, it's, it is that level. Doom is not on that level. You know what I mean? Like, it's not the, I would rather play Doom than Tetris, but I don't think that argument really holds water. And so, but like, the other problem is once you start talking about the game that way, that's why I'm saying I'm not sure what other game actually enters that conversation. It's fun to sit there and go like, well, Pac-Man, but like, dude, come on. I like Pac-Man a lot. There's a really there's a lot of funny things in this year's Call of Duty Black Ops 7 campaign. You should go look at some video of some of the video I put up has a boss fight in it that will give you an idea about how that game starts. But there are things later on that are even stupider. And sometimes it's in a good way, sometimes in a bad way. But there is a fun thing where you are in a level. They did it. And the audio designers of Black Ops 7 are geniuses. And there's a level in the campaign where you're in Tokyo and you're running through areas and you run through an arcade, and it's a bunch of arcade machines with like a kind of shitty looking fighting game image on the display, and the cabinets are all wrong. It's like they kind of look like candy cabs, but they're too tall. It's like, it's insane. The cab, whatever. But the audio coming out of those machines is Donkey Kong for the 2600. They did the thing that every sound designer for every television show for the last 40 years has done, and they used the audio from Donkey Kong for the 2600. It's fucking amazing. Whoever put that in there is a and like Pac-Man is in. I think it's Donkey Kong and Pac-Man both at the same time. It is an incredible thing for them to do. It's astounding. Anyway, let's move on. Next up, Davis has wanted this one for a couple of weeks, and it just never fit into the schedule. And also, I've been terrified of it, but it is time to face our fears head on. It's Godzilla 2, War of the Monsters. Godzilla has appeared. Man your stations. Attack force scramble. Missiles deployed. Stand by for attack. Man your engines. Defend the city. Oh, that's it, huh? Okay. I'm having a great time here, at least. This is not a great tune. This is a great tune that is not rendered super well here on this platform. This is ska, I think. Resurrection of Godzilla, gigantic flying monster, Mothra's invasion, crash of 3 monsters, the ocean's revenge, new ally, invaders from space, protect the metropolis, surprise attack from the center of the earth, pathway to peace, killer UFO, and the conclusive battle. Let's start at the beginning. Godzilla and Baragon appear, defend the nuclear power plant. I mean, you know, hey, what other information could you possibly need? All right. Jets are being plopped down, some tanks, some missiles. Am I Godzilla? Or am I trying to stop Godzilla? I wonder if there's value in keeping the tanks on the roads. Okay, so this is probably the... Okay. There's our laboratory. Sorry, busy. What? Army base. Radar car. I could use a trailer. Scientist. Okay. What's Dr. Dickens up to? Thank you, Dr. Dickens. Activate the destroyer in water, and you will be able to defeat Godzilla within a 5-block radius. If you load the A-bomb onto a trailer, you can allure Godzilla to your direction. Dude, I'm tired. This is like... Monsters phase. Oh no. I'm sure this will go fine. Oh, I have to pick stuff, huh? I mean, let's go with missiles, because I realized we were going to play some Super Mario Brothers 2 here. Is that good? Oh, it made the unlicensed game noise. Always a pleasure. These are going entirely too fast. So that's a hit? Okay, alright. What? It just turns off everything, huh? Well, I mean, that's stupid. Especially because it's labeled as music off and not audio off. Sorry, busy. This was making the destroyer, right? Okay, so... Trailer. We wanted to make a trailer, and then we want to put the A-bomb on the trailer? Right? Is that what... I mean, Godzilla's already on land, so you load the A-bomb onto a trailer, you can allure Godzilla to your direction. Okay, none of these other buildings do anything, right? It's just this and the army base and the lab, I guess. Wow. All right. Okay. We hit him. Oh. Aragon is here. Sorry, busy. I assume if we take the trailer over to what looks like a nuclear facility over here, that I'll be able to load the A-bomb onto it. But who knows? Engage Godzilla, motherfucker. Is that good? No. Ah! Wait, Godzilla is refilled some of his energy. How is that fair? Godzilla. I'm all out of LP. Ah! this attack thing, the slot machine on the attack, I think is no good. This is unless it's meant to just be random and I'm not supposed to care, but if I'm supposed to be trying to stop these things, it ain't working, baby. Like this should be replaced by percentages, or you know, like something a little more XCOM like, I think would have been more sensible here. Whereas this just feels like I'm not really sure. Is this random? We got two broken hearts and a bullseye, a dartboard. That's a hit, apparently. Tank takes 2 damage. Sure. Deploy the radar car. Oh, why not? Sorry. Busy. How's Baragon doing, little buddy? Got some of his LP down, a little bit of the DP. Godzilla loves a little bit of the DP. So does Baragon do anything? So if we attack with our LP, does it do LP? Well, no, we've been doing LP damage with our DPs. Is that good? Apparently. Baragon has vanished. Bomb. I mean, we're hitting them like the meters are going down. It's, you know, like, I don't know. You know, is LP life points and DP is defense points and MP is magic points? Like, do I just got to get his LP down? Probably not, because that seems like it would be a little too easy. Or rather, we've dealt half damage to him just by surrounding him with jets and pulling the trigger over and over again, which seems like it would be a little on the easy side for this. Okay, so yes, people are pasting some bits from the manual here. Okay, movement points. I guess that makes sense. Ah. Whatever, he can stay right there. It's fine. It doesn't really seem like you have ranged attacks. And let's just double check that we can't attack diagonally, right? No, that would be ridiculous. Don't be stupid. What are you, some kind of idiot? I'm not convinced that they ever have made a good Godzilla game. Some people like the, I guess it was the second release of the Dreamcast game that some people were sort of into, and there's the, what is the GameCube game, right? I mean licensed straight up Godzilla, not just monsters games. Where is Baragon? I miss him so. All right, let's end our turn. The scientist have anything? You got anything new to say? Yeah, do the thing that I told you to do before. Oh, come on. It's robbed. Oh? Is Baragon gonna go blow up my facility over here and destroy it? I thought Baragon was gonna just go randomly fight Godzilla. But maybe we're doomed. That's 3 hearts, sort of. That's gotta count for something. No? Counts for nothing? Oh, good God. Fuck. That's 2 matches. That's got to count for something, right? Yeah. Wait, did he shoot that out of his crotch? Two skulls. That seems like it'd be good. Aha! We got a JP, we got a couple of those. Okay, yeah, great. Yeah, blow up the fighter. All you're doing is making room for another one of these dudes to move into range and try to continue to give you the business. Why, this is... This is gonna be great. He's almost out of life. As long as he's not, like, healing up massively between turns, like, I feel like we're gonna... Can't have a tank and a jet in the same square. What are you, stupid? Oh yeah, one's in the sky and one's on the ground. Yeah. Is this bad? Should I be scared of this? Is this going to be bad for me? Sorry, busy. Army base has deployed all the vehicles it can deploy. I guess we'll bring these guys up. Alright, come on. Let's finish this. Yeah, 2 hearts. Beating is 1. Murdering Godzilla. Oh, he shoots first. Paragon has once again shuffled off into the night. Oh, what was that bad? Oh, this is, okay, this is, what is this? This is the destroyer, I assume. They finally made it. They made the destroyer. No, no, no. We don't want to move it. I want to get status on it, too. Okay, yes. That is the destroyer. If we can lure Godzilla into the water, we can use the destroyer on him. But with any luck, we won't need to. That looks good to me. No? I like that when he shoots, it sounds like I left my phone near a clock radio speaker. Perfect. Great. This is gonna... He's dead. Right? This... Yeah. He's out of LP. We just got to hit him one more time, right? We just got. I feel like that's how... That's been the rules for my units. Do the guns hit easier? If I use a lesser weapon, is it more likely to hit? That's got to be some kind of crit. This guy's got to be dead, right? Godzilla's dead. Godzilla is dead. Now what do the scientists have to say? I already did it. You telling me I gotta defeat Baragon as well? I thought Baragon was with us, man. Surely this is Dr. Dickens' time to shine. Baragon can move underground, and you can track Baragon with the mobile radar. boy, I don't want to do this anymore. I mean, we beat Godzilla. I don't care anymore. Like, oh, Baragon's rummaging around underground. Like, who cares? Well, we probably need to get these units moving back in a more responsible direction, I guess. I mean, the way it scrolls down here makes me assume that Baragon is around here somewhere, but... Are there rules to the way Baragon has to move? I don't know. Oh, I shouldn't have stayed on the road with the plane, because now I can't... Yeah, I can't drive under the plane. I mean, don't be dumb. No, I don't... Oh, what? Oh, we got another one of these. Oh, okay, so they make the A-bomb. Sorry, they'll say sorry, busy. Or maybe not. Maybe I just gotta drive over there and get it. But it doesn't matter anymore. Like, Godzilla is dead. And the A-bomb is for Godzilla. The Destroyer is also for Godzilla. So I don't... Wait, can I... Yay! I mean, Baragon was underground, so maybe he survived. Oh! Look at this image. A lot of people like to talk about accounts and things posting images that go hard, but it doesn't. This is a shirt right here. This is so good. This whole thing is so good. I'm in awe of this. All right, okay. And then back here to pick different scenarios and... The last and most ferocious battle. Retain peace on Earth. I will not. Okay, so we got some guys here. What do we got here? Rodan. Fedora. And Baragon. Out here doing stuff. We are going to attempt to assemble Side 3. Transport 3 parts of Side 3 from your bases and carry them in. It's neat that there are, like, projects, you know, that it's not just, hey... Part. Anyway. That's Godzilla 2, the sequel to Godzilla. You could play this, but why would you? You know? Like, it's... I think if you're looking for this type of turn-based strategy on the platform, there are better ways for you to go. You know, whether it's a, I don't know, Desert Commander or you know, North and South kind of falls into that sort of thing. This is just feels restrictive in a few ways. That, you know, unless you're just like a fiend for these monsters, which a lot of people are. Less so than there were years ago, I guess. But I don't know. People still that last Godzilla movie, people seem to like it, but like that's kind of the only draw, you know. Like here's kind of an average for its era, average and clunky turn-based strategy game, and the only real hook here is that you've got the benefit of Godzilla and friends. No Godzuki, unfortunately, but you know what are you gonna do? Godzilla Monster of Monsters is down here at 412. I think that game, while not a great strategy game, I do think is a better game overall than this, because it kind of was doing its own thing a little bit more, and I think was, you know, it was a little streamlined in some ways to just kind of like get you moving comparatively. I mean, let's not, you know, I'm not going to heap praise on Monster of Monsters because it's certainly not a good game, but Godzilla 2 is just a drag. Godzilla 2 is a slog, especially by comparison, but yeah, Monster of Monsters is the better Godzilla game. Godzilla 2 is no Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Cobra Command is a better game. You'd be better off with a copy of Freedom Force, but just barely. We're right in the same range as we were a minute ago, huh? Is Godzilla 2 better or worse than Tetris 2? It's better than Tetris 2. It's better than Darkman. It's better than the crazy Superman game. It's better than Addams Family. It's better than Total Recall. It's not better than Wheel of Fortune. It's our new number 428. Godzilla 2, War of the Monsters. Amazing game over screen. Like incredible. So at least it has that going for it. Okay. And there you have it. Huh. Not a great game by any stretch. Let's move on. Chris wants to see this next one, and we're going to see this. This is from a developer that I feel like was relatively renowned in this genre. But well, we'll see how it goes. It is Formula One, built to win, faster, the fastest man alive. That's the first screen that appears when you turn it on, which is actually really good. A world of sweat and sacrifice where split-second reflexes and the ultimate in technology are essential in attaining the victory that can only be achieved when man and machine function as one. An arduous step-by-step process known to these driven few as Built to win. So we've got normal mode here and free use. Let's go with normal, I guess. Here it is, endlessly realistic map of the United States. Money, 2,000. License, none. Car check. Oh, this is our Formula One vehicle, huh? Cool. We need more eng. I like the look of this. This is... Okay, we can go in a novice race for 0. We join the Big Apple Night for $50, or the Niagara Cup for 50. Do we get to drive over the Niagara Falls? Car check. Okay, we got a 4-cylinder, no turbo. We got disc brakes. Coil dampened suspension. We have all the nitro we can handle. 8-ply bias tires. Can't hold any more nitro. I could use some more bump. Y'all got that chassis? Okay, if we're buying like bumpers and chassis, like, is this game gonna be awesome? Wait a minute. I guess I'm just gonna go in. Good luck. Wink. Oh, it's like Tetris. Okay. Is this game gonna be awesome? I kind of want to go with no music to feel the true power of the engine. We're gonna go with 3 because it's the most like old-timey video game ass driving game. Okay. Yeah, I see why it defaults to no music, you know, because you want to hear that motor. Okay, you get collisions. B is brake, but surely there must be nitro somewhere, right? Because we had it. Yeah, okay, if I hold up on the D-pad. So it's like Rad Racer. Ugh. Just out for a nice race, taking in the beautiful New York City skyline. Long may it stand. Oh, these guys are dicks, man. Deog. I don't know that I would have looped this music here. Okay, so we used 50 cc's of nitro here. How much does that cost to fill up? 50. Okay, so that's we won 300. We have to spend 50 to get back to full, and we already have a 4-cylinder, right? So I don't. So there's no money to be made buying another one of those. Our body's a D-. Dude, fucking tell me about it. Let's get a metal body. Okay, we've lowered our speed. So the slick tires have the best grip, you're saying? I want to save up for an engine because we just lowered our speed, but, you know... Memory bumper. You know, hit a little nitro here and there. So that car was not in the race because I did not go up a position when I passed it. Those fuckers were. Pretty easy to take the corners. Oh. This feels fine. It's pretty easy going, and maybe that's just because this is the easy track or whatever, but it feels like Rad Racer with, you know, the ability to you know, get cars. To upgrade parts, you know? Let's step up to a V6. Alright, well, that did not fill our nitrous, but we'll be okay. Battery backup, man. This game has it all. Let's go race at Big Apple night. Oh. They meant it about the night thing. Like, pretty decent sense of speed. the cars that are actually in the race do an interesting job of trying to prevent you from passing. Okay, there's a turn that's sharp enough to where I started sliding out a little bit around the corner. Dust him. Smoke him. That's right. All right, we need 80 nitrous. But also, is there anything else to be had here that because we already have kind of... I guess we have no bumper. Maybe a bumper would help on those passes, huh? Let's get a metal bumper. Is this going to slow us down? No. Okay. Body's a C-, you know. It feels like there's not... It feels like I need like one or two more things to buy. You know, like something that is specific to acceleration, or, you know, like it just feels like there's maybe like a little something more. Take it to the Niagara Cup. This is a serious race. No time for music. Well, it's the Niagara Cup, so you should probably put a waterfall in the background, right? I mean, you're right. You're right. We should. You're right. We should do. Yes. I'm gonna be over here, and he's gonna come over here like that. Then I'm gonna go over here and dust past him. The passing is like, you know, because the nitrous. The nitrous is like pretty satisfying to use. Like it gives you like a, you know, you don't always feel it when you're just like out on the open road, but when you're trying to make these passes, like it makes the passing feel like something you're actively doing. You know, you're actively working to like fake them out and boost past, which is kind of fucking awesome. It's like someone sat down and said, what if Rad Racer was a good game? Jay Herbert really left everybody else behind, huh? We need 60 nitrous. If we had $5,000, we could get this V8. We don't have enough for anything there. We don't have anything. We can't get to the Duralumin body. What kind of tires do I have right now? Just 8-ply bias. I feel like that's nothing, right? That's kind of... Well, guess we want the grippiest tire. Give me the grippiest tires you've got. Oh. Okay, then get me some steel belted radials. No? How about some radials? Oh, okay. But you're not going to show me... We don't get to watch those get put on? That's weird, but okay. Give me 50 nitrous. 50 cc's of nitrous stat. I want to hear if the tires make us squeal less. That first place guy beat us by several seconds last time, so I wonder if we're going to have to really burn. And the bumper and stuff, I don't know if it's I assume it's the bumper and the body strength. But like those really just help you fucking blow past these guys. The new tires, like I'm not skidding out on these turns like I was last time. Like I'm able to kind of keep the corners and not slide out there. All right, we're in first. No more, we don't need to use any more nitrous. Unless something bad happens. Okay. Well, before we spend any money, let's go see what the office has to say. Oh. Oh, the tires only last for one race. Okay, so we can go in and we can change out parts based on what we've purchased. I don't know what I need to do here. Do I get a license by upgrading my car? I don't really have a lot left to upgrade unless, well, I mean... Okay, so we already have the V6. I can't afford the next bumper. I could spend all our money on this chassis that I wonder if it's got extra weight to it or if it's less weight because it's duraluminum. I'm not really sure what to do here. There's no more races listed here. Acceleration is the only thing we're D rank in, so... Oh, do we go back to the... Okay. Okay, so we just go to a different place. Final road. So do I gotta go to different places to find different parts? Okay, seems like Detroit is the next stop here because these are still D-rank races. There we go, suspension. So different... Okay, that's... this is an interesting idea. I don't think that... Wait. What type of parts would you like to offer? So this place only sells, then. Or this place only buys. So that's... So the speed shop sells... Yeah, this is weird. We already have coil dampened suspension, right? So, okay, we don't need that. Car shop. Okay, so this is neat. This is neat that they did this, and they got a Ferrari in here. Okay, these are licensed cars. What the fuck? That's crazy. They really built themselves a little thing here, didn't they? Huh. Well, we need more for any of this stuff. So I guess we gotta go to Detroit and do some racing. Wait. But first we need to buy some nitro here. That's I don't know. You know. It's annoying to have to go to a different location to buy a thing and then come back for a race, and like, you know, it's neat that they have like different things in different cities, but I didn't buy tires, so we might do some skidding here. Yep. Oh! We got a full-on spin out and pass by other cars because our body strength and bumper strength are not as good here, I'm guessing. You kind of have to keep upgrading to... Yeah, this is a... You know what? This is pretty cool. This is a long turn. Oh, man. Yeah, we need to buy tires. Oh, gosh. Or is it maybe just if you hit civilian vehicles, you spin out? Man, we lost 2 places right there at the very end. Which one? What, you're not gonna tell me which one, though. Wait, did I lose those coins because I accidentally hit the B button and didn't actually play the slots? Alright, let's go gambling. Come on, come on, come on. Oh. And I can't go buy 2 more coins to have another full 3 coin pull here because you lose your coins when you lose your coins when you back out. That's a poorly implemented system. A neat idea that should have been implemented ever so slightly better. Now we're broke. We gotta go back to the free races in New York. Ugh. This is really neat. What if I could just cheat engine my way to it now? Game genie my way to all this money. Ugh. I'm looking for the CFRP. In a minute, for a sec there, I thought it said crap. I was like, wait, what? Tires seem the same. Nitrous prices don't go up as you go across the country, which is nice. I'm looking for some active sus. Got to be higher ranked for active sus. This is cool. I don't think I've ever played that game before. That is a good feeling driving game. That is like like the handling on the cars. The changes you make to the cars feel meaningful. And that's something that you really don't see so much of that in games of this era. You know? Where you go like, oh, I'm going to upgrade this thing. But like, oh, all the other cars are upgrading too. And it doesn't really, like when I upgraded the bumper, I was bumping those cars out of the way and blasting past them more easily. When I was upgrading the tires, I was able to blast through those turns at full speed. And the tires only last one race. And so you kind of have to keep deciding if you want to like slow your way through the turns and hope for the best, that you can nitrous your way through it, or, handle, have better handling and be able to kind of just take those turns at a higher speed to begin with. The little bits of combat you get trying to pass feels good. Like it feels really good. Like it feels like a little fight, you're like, okay, we're rolling up on this guy and we've got to like kind of fake him out. We've got to go over here to get him to go. And then, we're going to go to the outside, turbo nitrous past him and leave him in the dust. Like that stuff's like, for this time frame, like for this time of driving games. And, I'm not necessarily saying that it's like this like high-end simulation or anything like that, but like the driving feels good and it feels like you're, it feels like your choices matter. Player agency. I'm kind of shocked. Being able to go around the country and have different shops with different levels of upgrades and buy, this one's got a car shop, this one's got a casino. Like that's really cool. It's unfortunate that like, you have to remember, okay, this town had the car shop, I need to go back here. Ultimately, that's just you buttoning through some menus until you find the right one, But it's still a cool idea in almost like a Gran Turismo kind of way. When you think about the fuckery that has been some of the menus in Gran Turismo games, about like, okay, I got to remember to go over here, and then the used cars are sold over here, and then this is and they only have this here, and you know, all of the kind of crap that some of those games have. Like this is sort of like that in a weird way. I don't know. I'm really impressive with the I'm really impressed with the I'm really impressive, but also I'm really impressed with this. How fun it feels. The options you have at your disposal. Like this game, if I had played this game then, man. And when did this come out? Is this a pretty late? Is this a pretty late release? Because like I'm guessing it must 1990. So not that late. I mean, that's you know, maybe slightly post peak NES, but November 1990 is you know, it's getting there, but it's not, you know, 1993 or something. If you had sat me down with this game, because like and they're years apart, so it's maybe not a fair comparison, but holy smokes, does this blow Rad Racer out of the water? If I was reviewing games in this era, that you could have put that in the ads, I would have given you that quote for the ads. Leaves Rad Racer in the dust. Take Rad Racer out back and put a bullet in it. Because Formula One Built to Win is here. Yeah, this is the same year that Rad Racer 2 came out. Yeah, and you know, Rad Racer 2 is you know, not amazing. But like Rad Racer 2, you know, yeah, Rad Racer 2, not a great follow-up. But this is better than Rad Racer. Easily, handily better than Rad Racer. I think this feels better. Yeah, wow. This is surprising. This is a surprisingly both in terms of features and gameplay. Like both of those things, you know. Like I'm really I'm surprised to see it, you know. It feels like a best in class game. I you know, I don't know what you would say is a better driving game, at least of the behind the back persuasion. If you want to say RC Pro-Am is a better game overall, I'll say yeah. Well, yeah. But that's a very different sort of thing. But this is fantastic. I'm really taken with this. It's better than Rad Racer. It is certainly better than Section Z. It is better than Spot, the video game. It is better than City Connection. And another wonderful game that is technically, I suppose, a driving game, but not really. It's a platformer, right? It's a platformer version. It's a high-speed take on Miner 2049er it's a high-speed take on Miner 2049er, and like maybe a more linear version of Amadar. I don't know. But City Connection's a fantastic arcadey style game. This is a better game than that. This is a better game than Kid Icarus. Is Formula One Built to Win better than Low G Man, the Low Gravity Man? Yeah, it's better than Low G Man, the Low Gravity Man. It's better than Muscle Tag Team Match. It's better than Tag Team Wrestling. It's better than Mega Man 4. It's better than Crash and the Boys Street Challenge. Man, this is kind of like it's better than Willow. It's better than Dragon Warrior 1. It is better than The Adventures of Lolo 2. It is not as good as Super C. It's our new 71. What a welcome surprise. Episode 117. Okay. Going to give the Covenant back their racing game. Okay. There you have it. Number 71, Formula One built to win. Cool. What a cool game. It's nice when it's cool when the games are cool. Tim wanted to see the next game. SNK, you know, Baseball Stars is such a good game. Why wouldn't you try to press the advantage and make another sports game? I don't know if that's the thinking that went into this, but in my mind that's how it went. So let's find out. I feel like I maybe tried this at some point. It is Touchdown Fever. They've made it so militaristic sounding. I feel like a lot of football does that. League match, I guess. One quarter. I like the triple digits for score. Oh my. Okay, apparently I need to like run the route. I need to like move the character to catch the pass. This is interesting. Okay, so you can... Oh, I flipped it back and... Oh, so we don't even change directions on a possession change here. The B button laterals it, and so I lateraled it from the looks of things. The pace of this game feels insane. I need to mash B to run faster? Oh no, what? So does A lateral the ball, not B? I'm really not sure what happened there. Kill him! Okay, we intercepted it. Oh. It's like the ball is just a thing that you just need to collide with to catch it. There's no art to it, and I wonder if those passes will just go forever. See, all I need to do is stand in the way of the pass, and that's it. It's over for him. Weird. I don't feel like I have any real control. Yeah. Yeah. Bryn posted a picture of the controls, and there's no, okay, so there's no mashing a button to run faster, which is what it seemed like it was on defense, but I guess not. That's stupid. I kind of like the way how stupid that is. That I can just like run away from the ball and catch it eventually. Like it's super weird. A defensive battle. Oh, we switched sides at the quarter, huh? Yeah, that's football. This thing is chaos, man. And the passes don't like go directly to the player when you push the button. It's like it kind of goes near it. Like you still got to run and grab it. It's weird, man. What a weird game this is. What the fuck? Oh no. Like on defense, you just kind of bump up against them and hope that they eventually fall over. I passed it to B, but A caught it. That's fine. B could have come back and blocked for me, I think. That would have been nice. 3.9 yards. I like the specificity there. That's real nice of him. I'm starting to think the secret way to play this game is to call backs and not throw it to either of them and just run it yourself and just have the quarterback take it. Okay, that doesn't work every single time. Okay. Oh! This game is a nightmare. I don't call any play on defense. It just must go to whatever, you know, whatever their formation is. It just lines up something appropriate, I guess. Kill him, kill him, kill him. Like, all I can do is rub up against him. You gonna punt? You're gonna punt, right? I mean, that's the right thing to do. I feel like I was right there, man. Yeah. No, no. Did I catch it and then throw it away? What the fuck? Note, don't operate the controller after pressing A button at a punt kick or a field goal. Why? Because you didn't program in a way for that to not, like, you if you do, it makes it a fake? Is that what this game is? The San Francisco Gorilla is here. Both teams get a halftime show, huh? That's, yeah. I like that they really went out of their way to recreate all of the realistic customs and rules of American football. It's funny because on kicks there, the ball does have some verticality to it. So, like, you could have high passes that go over the line, but they just didn't do that. Oh, look at these tricky plays. It's NFL blitz out here. Kill him. But yeah, it's weird not picking any defensive play whatsoever. Like, you really just kind of... You just kind of hit A at that screen. You gonna punt that one? No? I guess, yeah, I guess why? Why ever punt? Oh, that's why. Oh, I ran the wrong way. But like the running after catch stuff is really terrible. Like no. It's the problem when the ball goes on forever. Is you cannot. There's no intentional grounding because there's no grounding. Bow. And it's okay. This is a punt. That's a punt, right? Yeah. Okay. So they say surely the AI must occasionally punt. But I have no way to spin or stiff arm or like there's no mechanics to this. I'm not like shaking the stick to get these guys off me. Like you're not beating these guys off, you're just running away from them. And I don't like that. Good. Still got 2.3 yards left. The 30. The 29. The 28. Like the yards of the field is so fucking massive. Like there's no score. No one has scored. End of period. Fourth quarter. The 20, the 19, the 18. These players are just like just give me, 18 inches of daylight. That was almost bad. I'm marching up the field. We've got to make this happen. We've got to make this happen. I've got a fever, and the only cure is a touchdown. Come on! Wow, what an exciting... yay! They're beating the ground. They're so mad. Put some numbers on the board. All I did was push A there, and the rest had... Goal! We kicked a goal. It feels like this game should just have robots in it or something, you know? Like, it has this... Like, if you removed this a few more degrees from real football and just said, it's the sport of the future based on football or whatever, I think that it would be easier to understand it somehow. Because all of the things that, like, compare it to a real football game are the parts where you're like, that's not how that's supposed to work. And I feel like my options, once they start catching up with me, are really limited too. Like, it's just, I don't know, man. There's not, like, there's just not enough to it. Risky pass right there. Quarterback's a monster. Nothing takes him down. Okay. Now I've got the touchdown fever in me. I like that the music just picks right up from where it was. Oh, my helmet hurts, he says. Game over. You know, depending on your perspective, this game is fine or not fine. I don't know. Like, I bet this would be really interesting to play with another person, but like the systems in it, like the lack of things in this game end up being really limiting. Imagine playing 15-minute fucking quarters in this fucking game. Like, there's no difficulty setting, and you can play a tournament if you want. Seattle gets a bye in week 1. Now, this game was originally an arcade game, and like a lot of SNK games coming home, there's some pretty dramatic changes that were made. If I remember right, the arcade version of this had the same rotating joystick that Akari Warriors did. You know what I mean? and you had to like you rotated the top part of your guy and threw passes or something. It's been a while, but I remember that game being really weird and not especially good. But Zatoichi in the Discord says that the arcade version had the rotating stick, which this feels like it's probably a completely different game in most of the ways that matter. But you can play both players against the computer, which is kind of an interesting thing. Not a lot of games offered that in this era. But ultimately, this is like if you're coming into this looking for a game of football, American style, this sucks. The rules are all over the place. The lack of plays and the lack of difference between them, like calling backs versus calling quarterback sneak versus, like sometimes you call backs and the setup of the play is completely different and they're running in the opposite direction. Like there's stuff where you go like, oh, there are actually more plays in this game than you give me on the menu. You just kind of randomly adjust it depending on who knows what. And that's crazy. And so it makes the play selection screen seem like nonsense, because I was doing quarterback, I was running with the quarterback after calling backs most of the time, because it seemed like that put the running backs in position to maybe catch a block or two, but half the time they just stand there. And I felt like I was having like pretty good success with that for a little bit there. There's something about the simplicity of it that harkens back to, some of the 2600 football and some of the other weird garbage that came out a long time ago, where intercepting a pass is just you standing there in the middle of it and grabbing it. You don't have to hit a button. You don't have to be like, oh, well, the ball went over my head. There's no such thing as over your head. Everything happens at the exact same level, and you just walk right into it and grab it. And so it makes interceptions and stuff feel insane. Like it feels like a ground-based. It feels like other soccer. It feels like other football, rather. But even there, you kick the ball over. Anyway. It has its charm. Like there's a video game here. Like ultimately that's the takeaway from this, is that this is a really bad game of football, but it is a better video, like a competitive video game, I guess, than it is a game of football. And that's why I say if they just replace this with robots or ghosts or robot ghosts, and said, they're playing in the far-flung future, they're playing football by their rules. Or, if you just messed it up like one or two more ways, exploding players, just like one or two other kind of dumb things, no one would bat an eye at it. You just be like, oh yeah, I don't know, they made a weird future ghost football game. Here we are. But by having, real cities and something that resembles real football in there, I think does it a disservice. Or vice versa. They did the game of football a disservice is probably the actual correct way to put that. But as someone who doesn't really give a shit about football, I would much rather have a good video game than an accurate one. It's peppy. It moves quickly. We've definitely seen some football games that are just sluggish and slow as shit. Tactical almost in their pacing, which again, is I think appropriate for the way football plays actually unfold and what have you. I think that makes sense. That doesn't necessarily. That's not disqualifying for a football game to be slow, but there's something nice about this one because it just feels like it fucking moves, and I guess all that said, I don't think this is a very good game for a couple of reasons. It feels very limited in terms of the options at your disposal, the ways in which you can run those plays, the control you have over the action after you catch a pass or you're running upfield, like the lack of anything for you to do there to break tackles, Tecmo Bowl is an arcade game that came home is similarly to Touchdown Fever, like dramatically different games. The arcade version of Tecmo Bowl is a completely different game to the home version, but they still knew, no man, when someone is trying to drag you down, you shake the joystick like a maniac and beat that guy off so that you can break the tackle and keep moving. Something to do. Here it feels like you just run upfield. One guy will rub up against you and nothing will happen. Two guys will rub up against you, and then it's like, oh, that's a little something, but it's going to take 3 or 4 guys to really bring you down and have their way with you. And so like a lot of that is just like, well, I'm going to run upfield until that happens because I don't have the speed to like cut back and forth and dodge them. They're not diving like they do in something like Tecmo Bowl. So it's not like you can juke and fake them out and be like, oh, the dive was off target because I swerved this way. Like you just don't have a lot of action there. It just feels like you're just running upfield and waiting to die. And I think that's a huge downside to this. Like it is almost disqualifying in terms of like in making a well-rounded game. The lack of plays and some of the weird action behind the line of scrimmage, I think that some of that stuff is not awesome either. It works just well enough to get by, but that is the thing that I think drags this game down and turns it from, like this would almost, you'd be like, oh, this is cool, you could play this. Like if it just had a few more things, you'd be like, actually, I bet if you sat down with another person, you could have some really intense sessions with this. You could really get into it. But there's just not enough there. And it's a shame because it's like it's on the cusp of like being a great arcade football game. In a way that's like quite different from the way that Tecmo Bowl became a great arcade football game. You know what I mean? And yeah, I'm intrigued by this. It's a fascinating game, but it's just right there on the edge of like closing that loop and being something like solid. Like it's just not there. I like that they opted for, and it's not the only Japanese developed football game to go like, no, you just throw the ball around behind the line of scrimmage, like you just flip it, like the constant laterals that NFL Blitz would take to some really righteous extremes. Like they did that here too in their own weird way of just like, I don't know, like the rules say you can just throw the ball around. Is that not something they do? And you're like, no, it's never. They practically never fucking do that. In real football. It's no Formula One built to win. It's no Kabuki Quantum Fighter. It's no Castlevania 3. Road Blasters is a better game. RBI Baseball 3 is a better game. Like it's tempting, like, there's an interesting, like, there's some shared. Die Hard is a game that has an ambition to it, a weird ambition that is not realized. And this is, I wouldn't call what Touchdown Fever is doing ambitious per se. It's more like they just kind of fell into it by virtue of making a very slapdash game of football. But there's something there's something sort of similar here in a weird way where like the fully fleshed out version of Touchdown Fever that really leaned into that crazy shit, I think would be like it reminds me of the things we like about Die Hard. Iron Tank is a better game. SNK has done better before. Iron Tanks versus footballs. Iron Tanks usually win. David Crane's A Boy and His Blob Trouble on Blobolonia is a better game. Akari Warriors is a better game. You'd be better off with a copy of Solstice, The Quest for the Staff of Deimos. It's no Double Dragon 3. Is Touchdown Fever better or worse than Dino Wars? Destruction of Spondylos? This is a weird one. There's a real charm to Touchdown Fever that I can't quite shake, you know? There's something to this game. It is better than it has any right to be, with how like fast and loose they are with the game of football. Like, this should be the dregs. We should be talking about this in the same sentence as LJN's NFL game, which like occasionally just forgets what the rules of football are. This game just never cared about the rules of football to begin with. And that's a different way of getting to the same place. But I think, again, like the game is very peppy. It's upbeat. The music is fine. There's some stuff that you chalk up to just being like, well, I don't know, man. A Japanese developed football game. Yeah, you're going to call them periods. You know, it's like sometimes shit's going to happen. It's going to, you're going to do 2 halftime shows, 1 for each team. Why not? Why not? Touchdown Fever is better than Dino Wars, Destruction of Spondylus. And it's better than Dirty Harry. And it's our new number 248. And it's a very interesting game. Again, if you're looking for an accurate game of football, this is not for you. But on its own merits, there's something surprisingly compelling about it. It's weird. This is a case where the official title of the game is all one word, but for some reason on the boot up sequence of the game, they spell touchdown 2 words, but everything else from the box art on down lists touchdown as a single word. Next up, Pac Mantis threw this one in. Seems like we might have enough time for it. It might just fit here. It's from your good friends at Game Tech. $19.90 copyright. It is Fisher Price Perfect Fit. F I T. Now bring down the trademark symbol. What? All right. Which game has a better rendition of Three Blind Mice, this or the Three Stooges? Object. To match and fit each puzzle piece into its silhouette. Press A for more help. 1 player. A simple match and fit game with no flips. There's no time limit to solve 3 puzzles. Level 2. It's got flips. 6 minutes. A large match and fit puzzle with flips. 3 minutes. Button A locks in a selection or flips a piece into in a flip box, or locks a piece into its silhouette. Button A is doing a lot here. What's button B do? Continues the game. How to enter your name. Okay, how do I get less help? Oh, there's no... It says press button A for more help, but none of the other buttons do anything here. Puzzle pieces drop down a chute one at a time. What? All right, you are making this game sound weird. But I'm sure if we play level 1 with no time... Oh. I gotcha. So it's not a jigsaw puzzle, is what you're saying. Pages and pages of instructions. And this is... Has anyone seen my FP tape? And my cool sunglasses? Like, it moves on a grid. It's not, you know, like this is one tap, 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 tap. And so you kind of just... You cannot move diagonally. I am a champion. Same players, same level, new game. New players, new level, new game. It's a good noise. I have to drag it into the flip boxes to flip it. I saw the term flip box and I was like, this seems... Okay, this one does not need to be flipped. Oh, this one needs to be flipped. Oh, this needs to be flipped both ways. Oh, this is tricky. That's tricky. We're having a great time. Yes! Okay. All right, if we can beat level 3 quickly, we will have all of the achievements. Here we go. Okay. I like that they could have had the B button, like, rotate the pieces, but instead they decided to put boxes on the screen. Oh, look at this. Overshot it. Oh. Careless. Here we go. Would have been more efficient to go the other way with that than I did. Same deal. Start with the horizontal. Oh. Oh. Yes. All right, yeah, let me take a picture and send this into Nintendo Power. That's it. We got them all. Yeah, who is this for? Like, age-wise? You know? Like, that's it. You know? Oh, let's play against the computer and see what that looks like, I guess. The box says ages 3 to 8. Jeez. Electro, do your... Oh, God. Really? Now I have to sit here and watch a computer do this? No, stupid. Like spatial concepts and which way to flip a thing, and like, you know, there are lessons to be learned there for young children for sure, but I just don't feel like this is doing it in a way that is going to teach it especially well. Electro, you're the dumbest motherfucker I've ever seen. You bonehead. You absolute dope. You freaking dumbass. We're holding Electro back a year. All right, I think I'm gonna beat Electro here. We'll see. I like that it doesn't play the last one. I guess, you know, it's like baseball. Like, you know, there's no way that, like, he was already behind. Oh, no, never mind. I'm a champion no matter what, I guess. This feels like some, like, mid-80s collision test. Like, well, yeah, we made it. You take the joystick and you can move this box around the screen. Or, you know, I don't know, man. You type in ST and then a turtle shows up on the screen, and then you can make the turtle go forward and turn and do all this other stuff. It's great. Electro is not a champion. Get Electro out of the Hall of Fame. It's a bad product. But I did get all the achievements in it, so that's good. Yeah, you know, I think the educational merits of this are pretty suspect. They bill it as a game for ages 3 to 8. And while you could maybe envision a 3-year-old with something like this, look, I like video games. But this is another great example of a thing that you should not do as a video game. You should get blocks. You should buy the board game Perfection and have kids play it with the timer turned off because they don't need that kind of stress in their lives. But it will teach them to look at the shapes and rotate them in a way that makes them fit in the holes. You could get all kinds of baby toys about, like, put the block through the hole and this block goes here, this block goes here. Like, all of that. An actual physical object that you can pick up and look at and turn around without moving it over to a flip box to flip it around. That is going to do better for a kid's spatial awareness and just, like, you know, the those types of concepts than this. This is so incredibly thin. You saw the number of repeated shapes we saw over the 4 games we played. So there's not even, like, a ton of variety to it on top of that. And it is just match the silhouette to the shape. Like, there's things they could do here, like if they started asking questions, right? It'd be like, which way does the... Like, if you had things, you know... Like, oh, aim the guy with the bow and arrow needs to shoot the apple. You need to make sure he's aiming at the apple. You know, like something that was a little more engaging would not be hard to make compared to what this is. It would not be that much harder to make than this, I suppose. Yeah, this is like a borderline scam. In terms of like marketing this as an educational game and everything else. Like, I think that's a real hard sell. As a parent, it's given me some additional perspective on the scam-like nature of a lot of educational games over the years. Or rather, you know, I've talked about it before, but like there is that sort of, a lot of things underestimate children and their abilities. A lot of educational games treat people like absolute idiots. And this is something like that. Imagine ages 3 to 8. Imagine buying this, or a grandparent shows up with this and giving it to your 8-year-old. No. Absolutely not. Like, no, that is not. This is not. They're not going to learn anything. If they have not learned the lessons that could be taught by Fisher Price Perfect Fit by age 8, that you need to get them blocks. You need to get a physical thing. You need to. There has to be more. You need to do more than give them a copy of this, because this is not going to do it. This is not going to do it. Now, we can all agree that flip mode is the squid odd, but I think a flip box is really not is not the best way to do this. You could see the idea of, like, well, we want it to be a one button game, and yeah, I don't know. Is this well, okay. Zatoichi just posted a picture of a floppy disk for this that is for a Commodore 64 version. I wonder how similar it is. But it makes sense. Okay, like maybe this is meant to be a one button game, because you should be using the B button to rotate things, or they don't use the B button for anything. There's stuff they could do to make this just like a smoother experience in a lot of ways. But this just feels like scam territory. It's not. It's no good. It's no good, this thing. It's worse than Touchdown Fever. It's worse than Dino Wars Destruction of Spondylus. It's no Millions, Secret Castle. Wrath of the Black Manta is a better game. High Speed, certainly better. Double Dare is a better game, somehow. Line to Spacehead's Cosmic Crusade, that's a better game. It's no Hudson's Adventure Island, that's for sure. Yo Noid, I think the little boss fight kind of math, little mini game thing at the end of in Yo Noid is a much more engaging learning experience than anything found in Fisher Price Perfect Fit. It's no Breakthrough. Godzilla 2 War of the Monsters is a better game. Menace Beach is a better game. You'd be better off with a copy of Rockin' Ball here. Treasure Master is a superior product. Sesame Street Countdown does a better job. Sesame Street Big Bird's Hide and Speak, I think, does a better, like, there's just a more depth to this thing. Yeah, you'd be better off with a copy of Knight Rider. You might learn a little something too. But this is, this is definitely the neighborhood. It's worse than Donkey Kong Jr. Math. It's worse than Athena. Like, it feels like, like the Win, Lose, or Draw is barely a video game. But this is worse than that. But this is better than NFL. It's better than The Adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle and Friends. It's better than Robo Demons. It's better than Stack Up. It's better than Stack Up. It's our new number 605. It's no Win, Lose, or Draw. Is there any punctuation on this? There is not. Okay, so Fisher Price is our new number 605. A lot of range in this week's list. This week's batch of games. there you have it. Huh. But we did get all the retro achievements, so, it can't be all bad. That's going to do it for this week. Thanks, everybody, for joining me for episode 117. I'll be back next week. We'll rank another fresh batch of games. I don't know if they're going to be next week, but there's some requests that have come up that I've got on my list here. Gemfire. We'll probably be seeing that sooner rather than later. And Pro Wrestling. Is that the same as because there's a Pro Wrestling on the Master System that's a pretty awesome game. Is this the same as that? Or I guess we'll find out. That will do it here for this week. If you want to add more games to that list, head over to the Patreon. Patreon.com/Jeff Gerstmann. You get a bonus podcast every week. You get an ad-free version of the Tuesday show. Get early access to the Jeff Gerstmann Hall of Fame. The new episode of that just went up on Phantasy Star Online, so you can check that out over there right now. I may write something about Call of Duty at some point here. Not that not for reasons that you need to read that to know anything about Call of Duty, because I think it's pretty self-evident from seeing video of it. But parts of it are so fucking insane this year that I feel like I kind of want to write something. So maybe after I play it this weekend, maybe I'll have something to say about it next week. Anyway, have a great weekend. I will see you on Tuesday for the podcast. And take care. See you soon.